Grew up in Dudley in the West Midlands. Combination of there and also the Potteries, so Stoke-on-Trent, which is where my wider family are from. So I guess weekends spent running around my grandfather's market stall, getting down to Port Vale Football Club in Burslam's own kind of theatre of dreams. I went to Sheffield University. I studied human geography, combination of urban studies, politics, economics, generally a study of life really. So when I came out of university, I had a brief flirtation with joining the RAF. I went through the recruitment process for that and was offered what at the time was known as a weapons systems operator, so a rear gunner in a Tornado. But it wasn't what I wanted. I wanted to fly the planes, and unfortunately my scores were good enough to qualify, but not good enough for that particular intake. So I'd missed some of the key dates for graduate recruitment for commercial property, which was kind of at the time was my fallback. As a result of that, I had my year out, went to South America for the year, came back and went through the various interview processes to join one of the big commercial property agents. During the application process, I was invited in to present to somebody I met through my local cricket team, and in fact they ended up offering me a job, so I didn't go down the traditional graduate route, but worked for a development investment specialist in the West Midlands. I trained there for a couple of years, got my accreditation with the RICS, and then transferred into fund management, moved down to London. I think the reason why I travel so extensively now is because I went 14 years without doing an awful lot of it outside of the UK. So holidays of kind of Devon and Cornwall, leaving that and going away and experiencing the wider world was fascinating to me. I think the crossover between travel and the experience of the things I've travelled can give you with real estate is quite a clear one to me. So a lot of what we're looking to do when we're running real estate funds is to ensure that we're buying properties, we're owning assets that are in sustainable locations. A big part of the job now is, for example, creating spaces. It's not just about the landlord anymore providing a building that a tenant, say for example, plug into. A big part of it now is creating that space where people want to live, work, use the environment, and that is a two-way street now. So it's a joint venture between both the landlord and the tenant. And having a horizon or having a set of experiences where you spend a lot of time in the outside world, you can see how people use space, and that's key to providing the appropriate kind of real estate built environment for these end users. My focus predominantly is upon income protection, income line. Over any long-term period or long time period, real estate predominantly is income without looking to take on too much additional risk. Real estate generally is relatively illiquid, so the trust itself offers liquidity to our investors through the ability to trade their shares. That means that you basically need a strategy that works for the now, but one that is flexible enough and solid enough to run into the medium term, whether that be 3 to 5 years or even in many cases with real estate beyond that up towards kind of 10 years. One of the key things I like about managing the trust is the accountability that comes with being the fund manager of the trust. I'm very proud of that position, and ultimately investors expect there to be a clear route to the decision-making process where there's an individual there who's there to make the final call, make the final decision. But I think a key part of running the team that sits behind that is empowering those individuals who are sector specialists, who've potentially been running one sector for longer than I've been working for. The ability to drive the ideas, to come up with their own strategies as well, really just to make them feel comfortable and confident enough to run those kind of strategies through. But ultimately knowing that I'll be there as the overarching arbitrator really of whether or not we think that's right for the trust.